All right. Y'all know what time it is when this music come on. Y'all know what time it is. I know everybody is giving a round of applause to Elden Ring right now. And I'm not just coming out trying to shit on the popular thing, cause game is cool. Game is okay. Game isn't bad. But am I the only person that by the time I was done with this shit, which I just finished it last night, that's why I'm only talking about it now. And when I say I finished it, some live improvised type shit right now. I'm playing it on the Xbox Series X, so this won't take long. I say I finished the game. I thoroughly finished the fucking game. Right here. I'm talking about, 180 hours into it? I'm sure I didn't beat every boss, but how many times am I gonna wander around searching for something that's probably the same thing that I fought 4 boss fights ago? I know I seen a boss online that I didn't fight, which is the triple crystal dudes. The one with the pole, the one that can shoot the magic, and the one with the rings. I didn't fight that, but I fought enough of it. I beat every main boss, optional or required. So that means I went to the Halic tree. I took Melania or whatever her fucking name is out. And in my estimation, by the time this shit was over, by the time I was getting to the end of this shit, I was just like, why won't this end? Why won't this end? Let's check my dude right now. You're not going to see footage of this because I don't have a capture set up because I'm lazy. Level 167. Right now, started off as a samurai. This is how crazy this game is when it comes to how long this game is. Now, notice I didn't say how much to do, because the things to do started running short as I got past the halfway point of this shit, because I was repeating a lot of things. But how long the game is, I'm a level 167. I started off as a samurai, which of course, if you got the katana, you a dexterity build. And I ended up with a pure fucking strength build. Pure. The same way that I play in every Souls or whatever you want to call it game. I done played them all. And I beat Dark Souls 1, 3, Bloodborne, Demon Souls, and now this. I didn't finish Dark Souls 2 because it's dog shit. But spoiler alert. But once I got past Radon, I was like, when is this gonna end? Bigger spoiler alert. They got the nerve to throw a fucking boss rush at you at the end of the game. A boss rush. Last night, when I was finishing this damn game, I think I had to fight 5 bosses in a row. I can't even remember them all. I know it was one of the guy that's researching shit in the library at the round table hold is one. The beast cleric is one. I was so over it that I didn't even read the descriptions of the items to know that I had a item in my inventory that I could have just made a joke out of the beast cleric with, negated all the effects of his fucking sword, and I beat his ass without even equipping it or using it, because I just didn't care anymore. I just wanted to be done with this. I almost just put it down and didn't finish it. Pretty much. Now, don't get me wrong, for and mistake me for saying that this game is trash. It's not. But what it is, to me, this formula works better the way it was than with this. That's just how it is to me. This formula works better in a semi-open but still controlled flow of things type of game, like Dark Souls 1. 2 was terrible, but that one, 2, and 3, and Bloodborne. Because, I mean, they ran out of shit to do. How many fucking Erd Tree avatars am I supposed to kill? How many? I mean, it made sense when they were standing in front of the Erd Tree itself, the minor Erd Trees, but then you get to a later part of the game and they just wandering around. So the enemy ain't even special anymore. The enemy ain't special anymore because it's just wandering around in a random terrorist. I go down there and 5-shot it, and that's that. I didn't even get shit for it. I got like 5,000 souls. Like, how many dragons am I supposed to fight? And unlike the dragons that you might come across in other games in the series, like, mind you, the dragon in Dark Souls 3 that's in the DLC, mind you, I can't remember his name. I'm sorry. I only played the Dark Souls DLC one time. I played through Dark Souls 3, the Dark Souls 3 DLC. I played through Dark Souls 3 a lot of times, but I only played the DLC once I bought the Fire Fades edition. But when you fight the Nameless King, the fight that you have with his dragon is completely different than the fight that you have with the giant dragon in the DLC. And that dragon fight is different than the dragon fight that you have in Dark Souls 1 on the Crystal Lake. And that dragon fight is different than the dragon fight that you have on the bridge in Dark Souls 1 if you want to cheese him out and just shoot his tail off with the bow and arrow so you can get the Drake blood sword. You see what I'm saying? I fought every single fucking dragon in this game except for one the same way. I got on the horse and rolled around in circles with the Ujigatana doing strong strikes until he staggered and or bled, and then I did the critical hit on him. That's it. The only dragon fight I did different is when you get to that last area of the game. I forgot what it's called. Fuck it. The last area where you have the boss rush at, and the beast men are, normal enemies. And a big ass dragon with 4 wings that spews red lightning and lands. And I'm like, shit, this is a boss fight, but it wasn't. I could have kept running past him, but I was stubborn, ran my head up against the wall until I beat him. He had a damn near insurmountable pool of health. I think that thing was the enemy I fought with the most HP in the game. He had to be, because it took me like 15 minutes to whoop his ass on my successful try. I got the dragon smithing stone, but I didn't even get the somber dragon smithing stone. I just got a regular one for killing them. And the next time, a little bit later in that area, I saw one, I just went past them, because why? And I can tell you like what weapons I'm packing. Like, I got like 5 or 6 maxed out weapons. Let's go into the inventory right now. Let's go into it. So I got the Royal Greatsword, the one that you can get from Blade, or however his name is, the wolf dude. Got that one maxed out at +10. Just the regular Greatsword at +25 maxed out. If you don't know, like +25 is how high you can take the normal weapons, and +10 is how high you can take the special weapons. I got Radahn's Greatswords, the Star Scourge joints at +10. I got the Uchi Katana at plus 25, which is what I went through most of the game with. That fucking weapon is overpowered. If you level into dexterity with that weapon and continue to use it, you can kill everything in this game with that fucking thing. Because it causes bleed on regular enemies. And it can still stagger like other enemies that aren't susceptible to bleed, like the fire giant. I killed him with that. I killed the fire giant with the Uchi Katana. And I also have the one of the special katanas, which is the meteoric ore blade at plus 10. And I had time to max out all those weapons in one playthrough with this game. This game is so time consuming. But by the time I got to the end of it, this shit had wore its welcome all the way out with me. I wanted nothing else to do with this. This is the first time I beat a From Software game and didn't immediately start it over. When I first beat Bloodborne, I started that game from the beginning immediately. Chunked Ludwig's Holy Blade, got rid of it, or put it in the stash, or unequipped it, whatever you want to call it. Got out the saw, not the saw cleaver, but the saw spear, and began to do a whole different style of combat playthrough with that weapon. Because you handle the saw spear and the saw cleaver completely different than you handle Ludwig's Holy Blade, which is basically the ultra great sword of that game. And it's not that you can't do the same thing in this game, it's that I'm not gonna do the same thing in this game. But all I did was I restarted this game this morning just to see how much of a joke or how challenging New Game Plus was. Spoiler alert, it's a joke. 4 hits, Murgit was out of here. 5 hits, the grafted dude was out of here. Like, nothing can fuck with me anymore in this game. Like, nothing can fuck with me right now. I'm too fucking much for it. And I'm just not compelled to continue playing this shit. Like, I'm just not compelled to continue. Like, I think that this is it for me with Elden Ring. Like, anything I missed, fuck it. Spoiler alert again, I got the ending with the Blue Witch. I was standing there after I finished beating the whatever, the jellyfish whale with the galaxy inside of it, and it told me I could either touch this statue or I can summon Ranni. I summoned Ranni, or Ranni had her ending. It was anticlimactic to say the least. And what's with that? This boss fight tactic in this game, where it seemed like the major mechanic of most of them is just have shit shoot at you and projectiles flying all over the fucking screen. Especially in that last fight, like, it's just magic projectiles every fucking where, and it's literally an attack it'll do with a magic projectile that will chase you infinitely until it connects. Is that supposed to be hard? Is that supposed, like, am I supposed to take some type of skill to dodge that shit? Because it's undodgeable. Like, if you don't get hit by it, I ran around in circles for a whole minute, and until that thing hit me, it did not go away. So it seemed like in this game they put like some extra cheapness on it to keep up their fucking facade of having hard games, when in reality these games are not that hard. Like, I admit that when I first played them they were, but once I beat one of them, I cut through the rest of them like butter. After the first one I completed, which was Bloodborne, because Bloodborne was around the time that I first got into this shit. Now, Bloodborne wasn't the first one that I played, but the setting of it is what made me play it more than I played Dark Souls 1. Dark Souls 1 is the first one I played, and also I was playing Dark Souls 1 on the 360, which, you know, it's like playing a fucking slideshow. But anyway, once I beat Bloodborne, I destroyed every other one of these games that I played that I felt compelled to finish. Like Dark Souls 2, I didn't feel compelled to complete. So I just didn't. It's still sitting over there collecting dust. But Demon Souls, Dark Souls 1, Dark Souls 3, Bloodborne, and Elden Ring did not pose much of a challenge to me at all. Once I figured out and I was like, oh yeah, that's the cheap tactic of this fight. Let me avoid that. Like, I'll give you a prime example. The Godskin Noble, the fat version of the Godskin bullshit enemies. He also has an attack that's similar to the attack that I just described from the final boss, which is the Elden Beast. When you get the Godskin Noble down to half health, he puffs up and he will do this attack where he rolls around the arena, homing in on you, literally homing in on you. And if it's an arena you can fight him in that has pillars in it, and this is when I found out what it is. Number one, this attack is hard to dodge. If you dodge it once, it's for fuck sure hard to dodge it twice. The Godskin Noble, I got behind one of the pillars in the Godskin duo boss fight, and I just watched the Godskin Noble continue to try to roll at me. And it continued and continued and continued for probably 30 seconds before it stopped. But if you get hit by it, it stops immediately. So when he started doing that shit, I would just tank one hit from him and let that katana go to work until it made the fat bastard bleed. Like, once you figure out the cheap tactics of these fights, you can whoop the ass of anything in these games. You figure out how to counterattack to these cheap ass attacks that's supposed to pose a challenge but really don't. I mean, the game is still fun, but it's not fucking fun enough for me to do it again. And the people saying this is the best game they ever played, hard fucking disagree, dog. And one of these guys out here, he knows who he is, said this game's is so fresh that it feels like a new game every 10 hours. The fuck out of here. I don't know what you was playing, but you won't play the same shit I was playing, because it didn't feel like a new game every 10 hours. Hell, once you've been down one of those fucking wells, you've been down all of them. I'm out.